Sally. And we got Gillian. Welcome. Good to see you Monday morning. We're live on Facebook, YouTube there. Let's just go live on Instagram. Here we go, we're live on Instagram. So good morning, welcome. Today I want to do a Qigong flow. So we'll run through a whole Qigong flow, 5-element flow. And I want to just really focus on, first of all, just standing and noticing the breath. So when we just stand and notice the breath or sit and notice the breath, it's about noticing how the breath responds to our state, our internal state and our external state. So maybe if it's a little bit warmer outside or you've eaten or something, the breath will respond to your internal and external states. When we move into Qigong flow practice, the idea is that we are using the breath to guide the movement, to change, to affect your internal state. So that's what I want you to have in mind. I know we touch on that when we're practicing it, but I just want you to really have that in mind as we're working through the session this morning. So finding a comfortable space and just before we start, take your feet shoulder width apart and just stand and just bring awareness very gently to the breath. So just noticing the breath. Or you could do this sitting. I want to do it standing. It's nice to do it standing, but whichever works for you at the minute. And the idea here is that we're not changing, we're not trying to breathe in a particular way. We're just noticing how, as we're standing or sitting, just noticing the breath. Where do you feel it? Nose, nostrils, chest, belly, back. Is it rhythmical? Is it smooth? Do you maybe feel it's blocked somewhere? Are you holding? Again, it's just checking in. It's not changing. It's not trying to breathe in any particular way. And now we're just going to do a little bit of movement, a little bit of mobilization before we move into the flow. So let's start off with knocking. So just rotating from the hips and the waist. If you need to take your feet a little bit wider apart, that's good. Shoulder width apart. And if you feel, as we're starting to do these little bits of mobilizations, getting the body warmed up, the joints oiled, if you like. If you feel you need to take slightly fuller breaths, just a bit of a cleansing and clearing, just do that. That's absolutely fine. Let's bring the arm that swings across the front of the body into the shoulder. back down to belly and back. And then just slowing it down. Take a rest. Have a little shake out if you need to shake. And then come back to shoulder width apart with the feet. A little bit of spinal cord breathing. Just very small movements. Doesn't have to be a big stretch. You can do a small movement, just lifting and opening the chest and then tucking the pelvis underneath. And breathing with this movement, expanding as you breathe in and curling up into that little ball as you breathe out. Just do a couple more. And then take a moment, again, a little shake. We're doing these movements to really focus on the spine, that rotation through the spine, that flexion, extension through the spine. Then we're going to do a little bit of dog wags the tail, which is that lateral flexion or side to side movement. Pelvis stays parallel to the ground. You're shifting the weight. It's almost like you're pushing the weight, pushing yourself away from the ground with the feet. So pelvis stays parallel to the ground. Use the ground and then just free up the spine to get that nice ripple, that wave through the spine. And then slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. And we'll have a little bit of a shake. So just a gentle shake, shaking the wrists, freeing up the shoulders, letting the shoulders free up, tapping the heels into the ground. And you can tap the heels at the same time, or you can do the washing machine where you're doing alternate tapping of the heels, which is the one I quite like at the minute. Just get that vibration through the body. Let's do a bit of cleansing and clearing with the breath. So particularly when you're doing this, you may feel you want to take a full breath in and let that breath go. Good. I'll shake out another Few moments shake. And then slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. And just standing, however you feel comfortable. It's quite nice to open up the shoulders, just standing with the palms facing forwards. And now again, just tune into the breath. You'll notice it's most probably just recovering here. Even if we've just done a little bit of movement, a little bit of shaking, it's calming and just recovering. Again, not changing the way you're breathing, just noticing. So remember, our breath is reflecting. If we're just noticing, we're just letting the breath be, it's reflecting now our internal state, also external environment. And now with the flow movements, with the Qigong flow movements, we're going to use the breath to change that internal state. So we're going to every single movement where we expand, we're going to take a calm, easy breath in. And every single movement where we contract, we're just going to soften the breath. So we're going to think about expanding and softening. So we're consciously using the breath to guide the movement. Breathing in and expanding, breathing out and softening. The idea is you find your own rhythm, your own flow. So we're consciously breathing in and expanding, consciously breathing out and softening. Smooth, fluid movement, smooth, easy, effortless breathing. So just continue with this opening of the flow. Just bear with me 1 second, because when the sun comes out here, I go very dark because it's nice and sunny and the sun goes behind. So keep doing the flow. I'm just going to put a light on here so you can see me better. Keep going with the flow. So breathing in as you expand. Really smoothing out any jagged edges that you notice. It's a continuous movement, smooth, effortless movement, smooth, rhythmical breathing. Let's do alternate arms. So one arm, breathing in and breathing out, and then the other. And just get that little bit of movement as well through the lower body. So there might be a natural bringing the hip slightly further forwards. Again, I don't want you to think of these movements as exercises. I want you just to go with the flow. How does it feel? We don't want to be locking anything. Remember, just because we're moving the arms, it's still a whole body movement. Still expanding as you breathe in. Where do you feel that expansion when you breathe in? Where do you feel the softening as you breathe out? Back to both arms when you're ready. So here we're deliberately using the breath to guide the movement. To affect your internal state. Just two more. And then just take a moment, just standing. If you need to move around, if you need to shake your legs a little bit, that's absolutely fine. Do soaring crane. So breathing in, expanding, rotating shoulders, elbows, connecting thumb and forefinger, breathing out, softening or contracting, breathing in, expanding. Feel how the shoulder blades respond, how the rib cage responds, opening up the chest. Breathing in as you expand, breathing out. As you contract, as you're breathing out. Remember, it's a whole body movement as well. So soaring crane, standing a little bit tall as you breathe in, maybe just softening in the knees a little bit as you breathe out. And then just gradually lowering the arms. Do two more. And then standing tall. Let's move into the fountain. So you might want to go slightly wider on the feet here. Remember, we're not doing exercises. So make the movement smaller, have a little stop, have a little shake out if you need to. Back of the palm, back of the hands together, that little lean, so hinge forwards, coming up the center line of the body. Elbows get to shoulder height, and then it's like a fountain, breathing out there. So breathing in, breathing out. Really bring your attention to the breath guiding the movement. Two more. And just take a moment, just with palms facing up. And a little bit of tree sways in the wind to rotate. Breathing in. A little bit of a lull at the top of the breath, breathing out. So here, this is a nice one just to really stretch the breath without forcing. So you get that pause at the bottom of the breath and then breathing in. Gets the spine long, lull at the top and breathing out. Do one more to each side. And then pulling down the sky, breathing in. Breathing out. Really get that movement through the spine here, lifting that sternum, opening up. Really expanding. And then interlocking. Just bringing the feet together. And then just closing your eyes and just a little bit of bamboo in the wind. And then just bringing your awareness to the breath. Here we are not changing the breath, we're doing the same as we did at the beginning, is just noticing the breath. And then taking a calm, full breath in, stepping out, giving yourself a little bit of a brush down. And again, just standing for a moment in a comfortable position, again, as we did at the beginning. And again, just checking in, noticing the breath. So remembering that this now, just noticing the breath, being aware of the breath, is a reflection, is a mirror of your current internal state. Is that different from how we started the practice, how you felt at the beginning of the practice. And then have a little bit of a shake. And we will finish there. Hopefully that made sense. It's a nice thing to remember is if we're just noticing the breath, we're not changing it, we're checking in, that's a reflection of our internal and external state. If we're using the breath in any particular way, we're using it to change our internal state or to have an effect on our internal state. Thank you for joining as always. We will do a little bit more movement on Wednesday, but as always, we'll be focusing on breath as well then. So have a great rest of the day and I will catch you on Wednesday. Take care.